Hello everybody, welcome to the I Am IT Geek YouTube channel. My name is Shabazz Dan, as ever. I am the IT Geek. As you can see, I'm in a bit of a different surrounding today. For those who follow me on social media, you'll know I am actually in Punta Cana at NerdioCon 2024. So this is going to be the day one sort of video diary. I'm going to be showing some of my experiences. Also, I'm going to be talking to a few people who are at the event from obviously various partners and clients of Nerdio's. So hopefully give you a bit of an insight into the experiences that we've had here and some of the content that is also on show. So hopefully you will gain something from this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, comment and like, and I hope you enjoy the video.
So I arrived on the Monday afternoon to Punta Cana. My flight was quite steady away. Because I was in America the week before, so it was only a 4-hour flight from New York. And the venue itself is absolutely huge. As you can see here, we're obviously coming into the main foyer. And there'll be some registration for Nerdio registration on the left, and obviously where the hotel registration is as well to check in. And it's obviously Nerdio have got the whole place. It's all kitted out with Nerdio kind of logos, and there I'm just kind of going towards where the Nerdio check-in is, and they're just helping you out and telling you where everything is. As I said, the venue was huge, and as you'll see in a minute, I kind of go down to where all the entertainment was happening for the evening. So this is obviously in the evening, and the welcome party was pretty much starting. And again, some really cool decor. See the classic cars on either side. This pink guy, I don't know what brand it is, but it was quite a sight. And there's another one on the other side as well. You probably saw that was coming down the stairs. So they just, obviously kitted it out really well, and they're all kind of the restaurants on the side as well. But I was just obviously at this point walking around. I'd bumped into various people there. We had Vadim and Joseph as well, and some of the partners and clients. Obviously, I'll be interviewing people as well throughout this video. A couple of interviews in this video with Mike Starnes, who you just saw there, and also Toby Skerritt from Nerdio. So again, this is people just networking. Obviously, the drinks and entertainment was flowing, and this is a big part of the NerdioCon event. And here I bumped into a couple of people that you might recognise. Derek Smith, go follow him on Twitter, and then I bumped into Paul Heaton, who's come all the way from Australia, quite an epic flight. And then that was Tom Hicklin from Microsoft, product manager, and also Jim Moyle as well. First time I've met Jim, so that was a real honour to meet Jim. And this is now the morning now, so this is officially the first kind of day, and that's kind of where the Nerdio check-in was, and this is just where all the sponsors were setting up. So this is first thing in the morning, just before the keynote started. Kind of a quick walk around, so a lot of the sponsors are still kind of setting up, and they were kind of finishing off from breakfast. See some reminiscence of breakfast there. And again, yeah, they were just starting to set up all the different partners, Liquid there as well. And I think I've spoken in my video where I kind of spoke about NerdioCon last week. I spoke about who all the partners were, the Remo 3 there as well. So they've all got their own booths, Liquidware as well there. Good guys at Liquidware. They've all got their own booths, and this is, you can just walk along and speak to who you want, get information about their different products and how they integrate with Nerdio. So these are all Nerdio partners, as well as sponsors. So or their sort of product interacts or integrates with Nerdio. So ShareWeb there as well. I won't go through all the sponsors because you've probably seen them already. Glass Hive as well. But this is, again, they're all starting to set up first thing in the morning. But as I said, it was a nice little corridor of all the different sponsors that you could go and speak to. So they were just setting up. And then on the sides there, you can see the different breakout rooms and breakout areas. The room where the keynotes are was huge. Obviously, there's 650 odd people here. So they need to make it into quite a big hall. And again, just walking through, looking at all the different partners and vendors that are set up. And they've done some, as I said, they've done some really good work here. Nerdio setting this up. Quite interesting as well the way they've set it up. So you kind of have to walk past all these partners to get to the breakout areas. And this is where we started on the actual keynote, and since 2023. This is what Nerdio have done since 2023 NerdioCon, which is huge. And they give a massive shout out to Nerdio MVPs, which is very nice. They kind of got my job wrong there. I'm not a net company anymore, but always nice for them to give the Nerdio MVPs a shout out. So this is my first breakout session, and it was Travis there from Nerdio. I think both I can't remember the chap's name, but they were both basically this is around in tune. And really good session again, very packed session. Then I went to a joint session between Neil McLaughlin and Tom Inkling. This is all around POC production on Nerdio. So this is where Tom was talking about as your sustainability commitments. And then he kind of spoke about a use case around Sage and how they're keeping their data secure with AVD. And then again, some of the spoke about some of the structure of AVD, and then we spoke about networking, the different around security, and he went through that scale limits, which I thought was quite interesting. But this is something Microsoft are going to be increasing. This is something Microsoft are going to be increasing later on this year, I think. And that was it for the sort of sessions. So now I'm going to go into my first interview of the day, which is Mike Starnes from Foundation IT.
Welcome back, and again, for those who are following, we are here in Punta Cana at NerdioCon 2024. As I mentioned in my intro, I'm going to be doing some interviews throughout the whole week and sharing those with yourselves. So I'm actually joined by Mike Starnes, who is another UK contingent and also a NerdioCon veteran of 3 years.
I think we can call ourselves vets now, can't we?
Yeah, we've been here all 3 years.
Three,
So Mike, do you want to do a bit of an introduction to who you are, what you do?
Sure, yeah. Mike Starnes, Commercial Director at Foundation IT. We are an Azure and very specifically an AVD managed service provider. And we've been working with AVD since its inception and working with Nerdio as well since before it sort of had a product for the enterprise. So yeah, veterans in that space as well.
Veterans in that space, very much so. So obviously this is technically day 2, but I suppose the day one very much day 1 officially. What have your so obviously with you being here the last 2 years as well, you're probably the best person to compare it to the last few years and how it's grown.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts around what it used to be to what it is now?
I mean, bigger, right? I mean, I think year 1 they had something like 160 people.
Yeah.
I think they might be closer to 600 this year. So it's
3
doubled
years.
and then doubled again. The agenda's still very tightly packed with content.
Yes.
I think fair to say that you've got some heavy hitting speakers delivering roadmap updates, industry insight, which you don't get. I've said before that I learn more in this week than probably the rest of the year combined, just in terms of the amount of insight and information you get, not just from the keynotes, but from talking to peers.
Networking, Well, what I've noticed this year is it's a lot more Microsoft heavy. So last year, probably before, it was very much Nerdio people doing Nerdio presentations.
Sure.
And they did it last year where they started partnering. Like for example, I did 2 sessions last year with some of the Nerdio people.
Yeah.
But this year I've noticed a lot more. Jim Moyle's here.
Yeah.
Tom Hinkling's here. So there's a lot more Microsoft, and it's almost, I know it's a Nerdio event, but there's a lot more partnership, it seems.
Yeah. Well, I think in Joseph's keynote this morning, he was saying that Nerdio have influenced $225 million of Azure spend.
Crazy.
That's a huge
crazy.
amount.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you've got a key partner that's driving that amount of revenue. They're gonna support this event. They're gonna bring their news, and you've got a captive audience of partners that are invested in the technology, right?
And just again, we just kind of came out a short while ago. Scott Manchester's closing keynote. Yeah. Again, very much talking about AVD or Microsoft and Nerdio as a we. Yeah. Rather than them and us. Again, it's obviously very good for Nerdio to have such a powerful ally by the side.
But yeah, agree. And it's interesting, isn't it, that whilst Scott was talking very much about AVD and Windows 365, earlier in the day, you're hearing about Nerdio's intention to develop their capability beyond the AVD stack, Intune, application management. So they're going to become even more integrated with the Microsoft stack beyond what Scott's doing.
And I think, again, Joseph said in his part of the team, I can't remember who it was, but they made a choice to go with to back Microsoft.
Joseph said,
Joseph. I think they obviously had a choice of Citrix, VMware, etc.
That's right.
When they first started out 5 years ago, they made that choice to go with Microsoft, and here we are.
Yeah,
in a place like this,
in an awful location.
I mean, location-wise, for me personally, this does. I mean, Cancun was amazing. Don't get me wrong. But this has just topped it. The venue, it's a bit more of a relaxed atmosphere.
I think so.
I think it's so much more spread out, maybe.
And I guess they've had the ability to learn from the last 2 years what worked, what hasn't, and every year they've sort of taken that feedback on board.
And that's the key. They take feedback in everything, not just like the product, but like the event.
Agree.
And I think stuff like the speed dating thing they've got going, the round
Yeah,
tables.
yeah.
That was the first time they did it last year. They got great feedback, so they're doing it again this year.
Yeah, and they've also, some of the keynotes have been
Shorter, yes.
which I think probably enables them to get more in overall as an agenda.
Yeah.
But it means you're not sat there for an hour listening to.
Yeah, that was tough. And
Lot-
I think they've been 40-45 minutes, haven't they? Which has been
Yeah,
good.
or even in some cases half an hour.
Yeah, which is great. So again, a lot more to look forward to. We've got our excursions coming up tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to.
True.
And again, just generally, there's more breakout sessions on Thursday as well. So keep tuned. I've got a lot more interviews coming with various people, not just Nerdio or Microsoft, but try and get some clients in and partners like Mike as well. So thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.
Now I have an interview with Toby Skerritt from Nerdio.
Welcome back, everybody. The I Am IT Geeks here, still at NerdioCon 2024. And this is obviously the day one diary. So I'm joined by Toby Skerritt, who works at Nerdio. Hi, welcome, Toby. Welcome to the channel.
Thanks, Shabazz. Very happy to be here.
So, do you want to explain a little about what your role is in Nerdio, and also quite interested to understand what goes into this, being organising this type of event. You've obviously been part of Nerdio. I'm sure you were part of the team that helped.
Yeah, of course. And I was an MVP like yourself prior to joining Nerdio, so I saw it from the other side as well. Toby Skerritt, I'm a Senior Product Manager for Nerdio Manager for Enterprise. So my remit is everything within the Nerdio Manager for Enterprise sphere at this point, so all the features that we release. In terms of what goes into an event like this, it's huge. I mean, huge shout out to Natasha, who's done most of the organisation for this event, but obviously everybody in the senior team as well has had a large amount of contribution to it. Yeah, I mean, planning takes months, obviously, and our sponsors have just been fantastic. They want to help us to put this on.
From memory, I remember Natasha putting a post the week after 2023 NerdioCon. She was out looking for venue for 2024.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it starts literally the week after NerdioCon.
Yeah, and for us, I mean, NerdioCon as an entity has grown so much over the past few years. The first year, 22 was a couple of hundred people, 200, yeah, something like pretty much doubled. Now we're 600, I think. It gets to a size where you have to then look for venues which you can book the entire venue, which is the case with this location.
One thing I noticed this year, and I said to Mike as well earlier, used to be a lot more of a. This year seems to be that the event is like a partnership between yourself and Microsoft, because a lot of the breakouts are a Nerdio person, a Microsoft person. Like I was in with Tom Hicklin and Neil earlier, and McLaughlin.
Yep.
And then there's like Neil McLaughlin, I think, with Jim Moyle.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So what I mean is there's a lot more like Microsoft influence on the.
Well, Microsoft are our premier sponsor here, so Microsoft have a huge presence at this event. They support us. They send a lot of senior individuals to the event to provide us with some really great content. So we've had a great partnership over all of the previous NerdioCons, but they offer a huge amount of value. And because, I mean, you know how we operate as an organization and as a product. We rely on Microsoft. We're symbiotic. We're part of the same function.
As Joseph said, Nerdio, when we first, like 5 years ago, you decided to back Microsoft as far as ABD, and
absolutely,
this is why
yeah.
Here.
I was just going to say, sorry. In terms of location, we want our partners to enjoy themselves. We want our vendors, everybody who supports us in this conference to enjoy ourselves. So,
speaking for myself, very much I'm enjoying myself.
I'm glad to hear it.
You've got a speaking slot Thursday,
yes.
So I will be covering that in my video as well. So thank you again for joining me in the interview.
Welcome.
You'll see much more of Toby throughout the week. So thank you for joining us. Until next time. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
So to finish off the day, got to finish off with Scott Manchester, his closing keynote from defence to offence, and it was a really good keynote. And one thing I've noticed this year, they've changed the keynote slightly, they made them shorter. But Scott's was amazing. He talked a lot about this, how it all came about, how AVD and Windows 365 started. He also talked about some of the features that are coming out in the future, as well as some of the stuff we're going to be working on, and talking about customers embracing AVD, telling a couple of customer stories, and also Windows 365 recent releases and feature updates as well. And that's a wrap for day 1. Keep an eye out tomorrow for day 2's video. Until next time, goodbye.